Hi, I just wanted to provide you a short summary of our class today, Monday, November 30th. Again, this was for cohorts A, B, and C. It's just a brief summary with what we shared during the Google Meet earlier this morning. Just want to also remind you that Monday's class and Tuesday's class are the same, covering the same material. If you attended Monday's class and you feel comfortable with what I was able to provide you, along with this summary, there's no need for you to attend Tuesday's class unless you want to. I'll be online starting at 9:25. If you have any questions, if you want to hear me go through the presentation again or any specific part of the presentation, I'll be available. I'll be online to discuss anything with you, answer any questions with you, starting around 9:25 on Tuesday morning. But if you feel comfortable with the material, there's no need for you to attend that Tuesday class. I will be providing new material for you on Thursday and repeat that new material again on Friday. Again, your choice what class you want to attend. But just to review quickly on this YouTube video what we discussed Monday morning, I'd like you to finalize the Black Lives Matter unit. Remember, we're using Black Lives Matter as a basis of discussing the cause for inequality all over the United States, the foundation of it, the roots of the inequality that we still live with in 2020. I find that it's important for you to understand the history of this issue that predates back well before the Civil War, actually before the founding of our country. It's one thing for a history class to discuss events, and that's important, but it's even more important if you want to deal with those events, deal with the issues, to understand the actual foundation, the history of the issues and the events that occurred during the course of the last 200-300 years. So again, the best way to approach this is to match the slide, and I'll go to this right here. The quotes can be matched with this box right here. You go down and you go through the slideshow, and each of these slides connect to one of these boxes here. So if you complete the box responding to the question, the focusing question, you'll be in pretty good shape in terms of understanding the nature of these issues. Again, these focusing questions are designed to direct you to the important parts of the slide. This is particularly true with the videos. If this starts, the Black Lives Matter history starts a series of videos, and that is connected to, again, the organizer here. Okay. Going down with more of the videos, the legacy of a mindset that allowed slavery and racism to exist. We get into a series of videos that highlight that when African Americans, people of color, began to become successful, particularly in a southern region of the country that was controlled by a white power structure. The white power structure saw them as a threat to them, a threat to their control, and that they thought that their power should be supreme. Thus, you have the phrase white supremacy, supreme supremacy, white supremacy. And you get a couple of examples of where blacks began to become prosperous and successful, and people in power thought that was a threat to their power. So you have the example in North Carolina, You have the example in Oklahoma. I've got a couple of videos about the white supremacist movement that brings us up to date, explains what's happening today. And remember, to understand what's happening today, it helps for you to have the foundation and the roots of why this is happening. And then I get into a strange little twist of the Constitution. The Constitution says you can't enslave anybody, but you can put them in prison if they violate the law. Then the question is, what if you want to maintain control and you're the person that classifies what is lawful and what is illegal, what is criminal, and then you get to set the punishment for violating the law that you set was illegal, and then you control the length of the sentences, the jail sentences, the punishment. Think Rosa Parks when she sat on the bus in the wrong seat. Rosa Parks was arrested because she violated a crime, and she was put in jail for sitting in the wrong place in a bus back in the 1950s. So take a look at the 13th Amendment. Jim Crow laws are the perfect example of laws put into place to separate blacks and whites, to make it illegal for a person of color to drink from a white water fountain or go to a white library, a white playground, or even a white school. You have a 13th Amendment trailer. There's a whole documentary based on this. Then you get a perspective of policing in America. Originally in the South, police were used, paid enforcers were used to keep track of slaves and then to enforce the white man's law to keep in power. So while this may not be prevalent in northern regions of the country, this is prevalent here in the southern regions of the country. And when you get a sense of why people in certain parts of the country distrust the police, this gives you some insight into that, helps you understand that issue. This is particularly true if you take a look at these maps. Here's a map of the white population, which is the dark in color, and the lighter regions is where fewer density in terms of white people live. And then when you look at the concentration of Black or African American population down in this region here, the South, this is where you get into many more restrictions. And that's why you get into the issue of voter suppression. The voter suppression is to keep people from voting. Voting gives people power in a community. So if you can suppress the vote in these regions of the country, you can maintain those who are in power. So that's the white suppression issue. Then we get into the statutes. They were erected primarily in this region of the country, in the southern region. They're not just to memorialize Confederate heroes, but to remind people whose land this is and who's in control. This was a very interesting video that shed some light into that issue, particularly combined with these maps and the history. So you better understand, you're in a position to better understand the current day issue if you understand the history behind those issues. And then take a look at George Floyd's America. I provided you a resource guide right here with all sorts of links, particularly this one here. This gives you a whole sense of resources to understand America's long history of injustice and inequity, all the way from Harriet Tubman to Martin Luther King, Barack Obama to Colin Kaepernick. Every link here is a different story. Every link gives you some history and some background into this. So I encourage you to take a look at that. And again, fill out the assignment for this is to fill out these squares, get them into me, okay? And then on Thursday and Friday, I will give you a summary assessment on all of this. Okay, so again, cohorts A, B, and C. If you checked in with me today, Monday, and you have a pretty good handle on things, no need to check in again on Tuesday, unless you want to. I'll be online at 9:25 to answer questions, to repeat any part of this that you don't quite understand. But this is a self-directed study. I have full confidence that you can handle this on your own with a little guidance from me and YouTube. And I hope you're doing well, staying safe. And if I don't see you on Tuesday, I'll see you on Thursday or Friday, your choice. And hopefully see most of you in person next week. Take care, be well. Thanks for checking this out. Bye-bye.